Greetings, this is Scholar Saunders Singh. What's current? Now, you've seen the title, so I hope you understand what's happening right now. Talking about Memorial Day. Talking about the reality of Memorial Day. What its origins are, what its real meaning is, and where we are going forward into the future with it. Its origins started way back in the 19th century. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but essentially it started with a woman that was placing different flowers on the markers of Confederate and Union soldiers. And it just progressed. There was some rumblings throughout the South of having some kind of Remembrance Day, something to commemorate the over 600,000 lives that were uh, extinguished because of the Civil War in America. So, one moment. Hold on. Let me check something. It should be better. Okay. So, in today's world, it's a totally different scene. I've said this in previous posts. We talk about mattresses sales, car sales, home improvement stores having sales, and all this stuff. I mean, they got barbecues. You go to the beach. Sometimes there's fireworks. It's like, okay, I'll take that, but that's really not what it means. It means what people don't want it to mean: killing on behalf of the United States of America, or the free uh, states, or the North, from the North during the Civil War in America, all the way up to now. Everything that wants to preserve freedom for individuals. That's what it is. And people had to die for that. Over 1 million people have died in uniform on behalf of this country. Over 1 million. So no small thing, no nothing to be taken lightly. But we take it lightly. I mean, I think Patrice O'Neill had a joke. The late great Patrice O'Neill had a joke about September 11th. I can't remember it exactly, but I can paraphrase. He was like, just wait a few years, wait a few decades. There's gonna be a 9/11. They already have Patriot Day or Patriots Day. There's Patriot Day and there's Patriots Day. Patriot Day, I think, is in Boston, in Massachusetts, and maybe the whole state of Massachusetts. It pretty much acknowledges, the people that I think fought in the Revolution or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't do too much research on Patriots Day. I did research on Memorial Day. But I'm just, the joke is essentially saying like how, there's going to be sales. They're falling like the Twin Towers, and so prices are falling like the Twin Towers. Like that's what's going to be like, sadly. And like that's how sick it is. That's how weird we are as a people. We have to cover things up. We can't have it just, this is a serious day. We can't, like the Jews in Israel. In Israel, they have Holocaust, the Day of Remembrance of Holocaust. There's a siren that sounds, and people get out of their cars and stand at attention and wait until the siren blare stops. That's the kind of recognition we should have in this country for Memorial Day. As a Marine, as a veteran, I know what it's like, because I know somebody. If you're in the armed forces, you know somebody that knows somebody that died in war. It doesn't matter, wherever you are. If you're in the United States military, you know somebody that knows somebody that gave their last breath, not for their country. That's another thing too. They gave it for themselves and their family and their values. They died on behalf of the country, yes, but not because of the country. Radio Hawkins, salute to you, sir. I see you. I see you out there. Salute. Did you get the notification? I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So I say, it's just a weird cross section. It's a weird thing. We're flipping burgers. We're having hot dogs. We're drinking beer. We're just sitting around, having a good time. We're just taking in the sights. Women are dressing a little more scantily, and you're looking at their pretty dresses flowing in the wind and stuff like that. That's cool. I think that's cool. That's great. But The real reason, the real truth behind all of that is the fact that millions of men and women, we have to remember that, and women died for their own selfish values. Nobody would say that except maybe 3 or 4 people, on this planet right now. I know Ayn Rand would have said, but she's no longer with us. There's probably like 5 to 10 people, maybe 100. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying as a broadcaster, who would say it in a broadcast. They died selfishly. They weren't selfless sacrifices. They weren't unselfish. They weren't anything. They didn't lay down their lives for their friends. They were in the effort of trying to preserve liberty for themselves, taken out. That's as simple as that. That's as simple as you ways you can explain it. There was no selflessness and they did this whole because of their country and because of the United States of America. No, they had their own set of values. Just imagine how many people that came out of the wars. The people like Tim O'Brien. He had the things they carried from the Vietnam War. I mean, what if Tim O'Brien wasn't killed? We wouldn't have had the things they carried. It wouldn't have been even an issue. It wouldn't have been a thing. And that's thousands of people, mostly men. Of course, you have to acknowledge that, but it's also women too. But you have to recognize the fact that they died not on behalf of apple pie and baseball and jazz. Bumba, I see you, yeet, yeet. But they died on their own selfish terms. That's what it's the thing with the military. Everything is selfish until you get to training. When you get to training, everything is selflessness and sacrifice and unselfishness, which is implied in some ways. Sometimes it's stated explicitly, but most of the time, it's just implied. I have to die for my country. I have to die for my country. If you're one of the trigger pullers, and that learn how to fight, with fist and pistol and rifle, and knew how to engage the enemy with grenades. You know how to engage the enemy with tanks and amphibious and vehicles. That takes a toll. It takes a toll. I mean, they don't literally say. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it said, all right, now here's the day we're going to learn how to jump on a grenade. Like nobody says that. At least I don't remember there was a training day 57. That's when we learned how to jump on a grenade. I mean, they don't teach that. This is a thing that they say. I'm glad. Bumbo says, I'm glad no more trans in military. Why are you glad? I had no problem with it. I had a question about officers who are non-binary. What do you call them? They go by their different pronouns. Do you call them ma'am or sir? Are they Mur or Sam? What are they? What are non-binary officers called? That's what I want to understand. No, but anyway, yeah. So I mean, we go back and forth. Mr. Terrain and I, he says, about too much or mentally ill. Well, that could be something different. I don't know. If there's a trans, in the unit, and they're a fighter and they're a hard charger, I'm with that person. He or she or whatever they want to be, if they can aim on sight and put down ground fire and weave in between obstacles and negotiate those obstacles, I'm all for it. Call him Trambo. Oh, that was cute. But that is the facts. I mean, it's not about selflessness. It's not about unselfishness. It's not about sacrifice. All those are evil. And it's not even true. I mean, it's like I said, once you get to military training, they talk about that sacrifice and unselfishness. So it's like implied, like, well, I'm unselfish if I jump on this grenade, so I guess I'm unselfish. So now I'm gonna get a medal of honor, but I'm dead. So I mean, officer they them. Michael Nolan, the bottom line salute. Don't forget to like the stream. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. I'm waiting for Sir Rick James, Mr. Rick James. I have respect for him. He's telling people about me, so I appreciate that. He let Mr. Michael Nolan know about me. No more foreign. So we should have civil wars. What are you talking about, Bumba? No more foreign wars. There's going to be wars. I mean, the Bible even says there'll be wars and rumors of wars. I mean, that's nonsense. That's complete nonsense. There doesn't have to be wars or even rumors of wars. It could just be complete peace. There was a period of peace, relatively about 10 to 20 years, and with no wars around the world. The late 19th century, no wars at all. Like from the 1880s into the early 1900s, there were no wars. And then we had World War One, and that was, we should have never entered World War One. That was Woodrow Wilson for democracy. Like I don't even think he understood what democracy meant. Democracy is unlimited majority rule. That means that if 4 out of 5 people don't like you, then you can go to jail, or you can be beaten to death, or stoned to death, or hanged, or something like that, just because of a 4 to 5 vote. That's basically what democracy is. Obama says should have never went to Iraq. True. We should have never went to Iraq. We should have went to Iran. Nobody talks about that. Just a letter. Now, a few people, I'm not everybody, but just a letter. Iran and Iraq. We should have went to Iran. We should have wiped out the hornet's nest. We could still go. I mean, I think I was about to say Jewland. Excuse me. Pardon me. Israel is I think gearing up for Iran for a little scuffle with Iran. And if they get into it, they're gonna need allies, they're gonna need weapons, they're gonna need systems, they're gonna need intelligence to do it. Max Vision coming in. Got the eyes moving. But yeah, we should have never went to. Okay, we should have went to Afghanistan, but we shouldn't have stayed as long. It was important because at the first inkling of Osama bin Laden's his location, it was actually in Afghanistan, but he quickly moved out, and I think he went to Pakistan soon after. So we should have, of course, engaged in Afghanistan. I'll give you that much. No WMDs, facts, because there was a lie. That's obvious. It was an obvious lie. Nobody knew respected that whole idea, even the people that were purporting it. The late, I'll just say late. I'm not gonna say the late great, but I'll just say the late Colin Powell. He was an adamant person that said, and I think before he died, he said that he regretted saying that there was he regretted saying that yes, Powell was a liar. Yes, he was a liar. He sold us up the river. 5,000 souls lost. No, not lost, taken, stolen. 5,000 architects, 5,000 school teachers, 5,000 entrepreneurs, 5,000. Is it? Let me make sure. Let me see. Because I'm saying 5,000, but I think I'm wrong. Excuse me. Well, it's close to 5,000. 4,431. So 4,400, close to 4,400. 4,400. Nuclear physicists, poets, actors, businessmen, businesswomen, all taken, their lives taken from them, stolen from them. Kids, the oldest probably being in their 40s or 50s. young, and that's super young to die. In your 40s and 50s, we have so many advancements in technology and medicine. Most of them were, kids aged 17 to 30. I mean, for what? He lied that Saddam was working with Al Qaeda. I don't remember that. You have to give me the deets, give me details, give me a link, and I'll look at it. But I can't promote that because I don't know if that's true. It's the neocons' fault. Well, in a sense, I know what you're saying. It is the neocons' fault, but the I don't want to say cons because I just say the right. The right, it was the right's fault. It was the right's fault, of course, but the left was too weak to even try to battle it. Just like they're too weak now to go up against Trump. Yeah, rhinos, Republicans in name only. Yeah. He says Saddam was working with Zarqawi. I don't remember that. I can't confirm or deny that. If you know, you probably know more than I, Bumba. I'm just trying to say how the Memorial Day needs to be transformed into a serious day. I have to respect the pastor of the church I go to. As an atheist, I go to church. I know, sounds funny, but it's the truth. Um, it's in a documentary. Well, give me the documentary. You can't just say, "Oh, it's in a documentary." Give me the documentary and I'll watch it. I'll look it up. But I'm watching a really excellent documentary called Manhunt for Osama bin Laden. I think it's called on Netflix. It's great, excellent documentary. It's taking you through the timeline. It's going back and forth. It's going back and forth in time and going to the present, going to the past, going to the further past, going to the little bit recent future. Like it's very good. I recommend it. I think it's called Manhunt Osama bin Laden. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, there are people right now as I speak that do not want good for America. We're grilling, we're listening to Sexy Red and Dave Blunts. We're blowing down the strong stuff. We're having a good time. We got the girls around us. We're in the pool. We're having a party. Everything's looking like a Diddy takeaway show. Did you see the evidence from that thing? But anyway, um, from the raid. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, he had a thing for clear heels. But anyway, not for him to worry, but where. But anyway, keep censoring my saying the document. Oh, okay, okay. So I'm surprised they didn't censor what you just said with the two part. But just space out the letters. Space out if you can space them out by like three spaces. See if that works, or just give me the initials. Just give me the initials of the letters, the letters to the specific documentary. But yeah, I just want to change the whole face of Memorial Day. That's just me, as a Marine, as a veteran. Um, it's not my day. My day is in November. That's the cool day. That's the relaxed day. That's the sales day. That's when it's happy. I mean, it's like bittersweet. It's a bittersweet day, but it's more sweet because we get a lot of deals, and it's back to back for Marines. Frontline IS. Okay, IS front. I will look for that. I'll look for it. But yeah, Veterans Day is cool. Veterans Day is when you're not really grilling. That it's kind of cool. It's in November. It's past the summer. This is the unofficial start of summer. My birthday is around the official start of summer. Um, but yeah, veterans. They have Armed Forces Day, which is earlier in the month, but it's not an official holiday. It's not an official federal holiday. But it's for the people that are in the military right now that are active military participants. So that's the reality there. Okay, we dropped 3 people. Wow. Okay, goes up and down like the Dow Jones. But yeah. So that's all I want to do. Just change the flavor. Just change the face. Just change the identity of Memorial Day to make it more solemn, more sacred. I mean, visit cemeteries. They usually have programs based on you know uh, whatever the deceased veteran did in their during their service, and those are powerful, very stirring moments. And that's what should be on the forefront. Not, hey, come on down to Mattress World, you get a 10% off for Memorial Day. Hey, come on down to Toyota and you get a Camry for 30% off. Or I don't, I'm just saying, like, that's the weird thing. It's Memorial Day. Hey, it's the Memorial Day sale. Like, why is it like, yeah, happy go lucky? Like, yeah, the inflection is like really keyed up. Like, yeah, Memorial Day. People died today for this day. Yeah. People died just so you can go out and get a truck. Yeah. That's cool, right? Like that's what I'm receiving. That's what I'm understanding. That's what they really, kind of force down our throats. It's a weird thing. It's just a strange thing how things morph into certain things. I mean, the fact that military people are treated with such high regard now, especially, it started really after Vietnam. We were like, you know what, we messed up. We were going, because Vietnam was such a mess on so many fronts. First of all, you had the people that were completely against the war for the wrong reasons. They're just for, they're beatniks, and they just wanted peace for peace's sake. Not regarding the lives that were being taken because of the draft and things that are stolen because of the draft and things of that nature. And then you had the people that were against, the GIs, the troops, especially with the Malay, I always pronounce it incorrectly, massacre. They were like, oh, you're baby killers, And like I said before, on many occasions on this broadcast, what war since the beginning of man were babies not killed? They probably killed the babies, probably slit their cut off their heads and drank their blood in some circumstances. Let's not kid ourselves. Every war, there's babies getting killed. Every war. I don't care where it is. What it's not just men in uniform. Everybody saying, oh, yeah. You got to bomb the military strategic targets. You got to bomb that. No, you take it towards the civilians. And that goes back to I'm going to say it right now. My second favorite and my third favorite, probably. Of course, Ayn Rand is my first American hero. She's a thoroughly American hero. She might have been born in Russia, but she was American ever since she was a young child. Okay, let's get that situated. Everyone's like, oh, she was Russian American. Oh, she was born in Russia. She came to America. She got married, and then she became an American citizen. Well, she became an American citizen, I think, even before, around the time or close to the time she was married. Anyway. Okay, so Ayn Rand, and then I think I want to say Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin just mystified, just completely, just his genius. Just the fact that he created so many different things and had the idea for, even though he was wrong in a lot of senses, he had like the post office and the fire department. He had the right idea, just in the wrong way. It was like shooting on a sight, like you're shooting on target, but you're shooting in the shoulder. You're not shooting in the heart or the head. He was shooting in the shoulder. He had a tight group. It was a tight group in the shoulder. All right, but anyway, my main, besides Ayn Rand, my main American hero, and of course Mr. Troy Sarterain. I can't forget Mr. Troy Sarterain. He goes along with Ayn Rand, but and Fargray and many others. But William Tecumseh Sherman said, "War is hell. We got to get this thing over with. The only way we can do that is if we take it to the civilians." And this is the thing. 3 things happened. 1, he had few casualties on his side. That's the main thing. Very few men died on his side. 2, very few men died on the Confederate side. The Union side had a few losses, and the Confederates had a few losses. 3, he took it to the civilians, and there were very few casualties, if any, regarding the civilians. But what did he do? He destroyed property. He took it to their houses. He took it to the uniform shops, the munitions factories. He took his men. heated up the rails of the railroad. And then he didn't just heat up the rails of the railroad and twist them on the railroad. Oh, okay. They could probably untie them and twist them back and get them back. No, he said, look, take those rails, take them off of the tracks and wrap them around the tree. And they called them Sherman ties. That is the amount of trolling that won the Civil War. And don't forget, don't hit me with the he was the main architect behind the House bill that was essentially called 40 Acres and a Mule. Forget all that. Forget about the 40 acres. Forget about the mule. It was already about to be dismissed by President Andrew Johnson anyway. So that's not the reason why I champion Sherman. Sherman was all about saying this is a mess. This is terrible. This is horrible. People lose life and limb. This is no joke. This is very serious. I want this thing over with. I want this thing done as quickly as possible. He swooped in. He took his troops. They called him Uncle Billy. He was a man of great stature and virtue. General Sherman, General William Tecumseh Sherman. Definitely one of the greatest American heroes of all time. One of my favorite, of course. But I just salute people like him. Salute them. And of course we have like people like Patton. I like Patton, but he wasn't like Sherman. Patton was like, Patton was like Pippen and Sherman was like Jordan, if you know what I mean with that. Sherman was like Caesar and Patton was like Mark Antony. There's a difference. There's a closeness, but there's a difference too. Like without one, they're both great. I'm not saying that, but one, just a bit greater, just a little greater. And that's what Sherman represents. That's what Patton represents. Patton was great. He kept the war effort rolling. There was VE Day because of Patton in a lot of ways. I think I don't know if he lasted till VJ Day, Victory in Japan. But that's another example too. I'm glad I wrote into that. Babies, aunties, uncles, nephews, nieces turned into shadows. Their bodies were evaporated. All that was left was the bright light that caused a shadow for them to be completely incinerated. But we forget about all that. We don't want to talk about that because it won the war. And what is that today with Japan? How many Japanese people want our demise? You tell me. Hello Kitty, Sony, Toyota, Honda. We're trading with them all the time. Individual to individual. Every single time. How many Germans want our demise? BMW, Mercedes-Benz. How many of them want our demise? We bombed Berlin. 600,000 people died. Boys, girls, men, women, children, everything. Up in flames or, concussed. Terrible. Horrible. But that's what war is. It's not pretty. It's not nice. It's not something to be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna have a little picnic, just a little stroll through the school. No, it's horrible. And I know people want to argue, oh, we should have used nukes for Vietnam, but I mean, it may not have even been a thing if we use nukes. I'm not sure. I'm not a military specialist. I'm just speaking on the morality of it. I can only speak of the virtues. It was a two. I mean, if you go back to World War II, we fought in Europe selfishly, not selflessly. A lot of people say, oh well, because the Jews were in the concentration camps and we had to free them, and it was our selfless duty and our unselfish acts that precipitated. No. We wanted to make sure that that bastard and that evil son of a bitch, Adolf Hitler, would never have a chance, and Mussolini wouldn't have a chance, and what was his name? Toto, Kyoto. I can't remember his name, but they would never have a chance. The axis of evil: Japan, Germany, and Italy. You know, that was our whole ticket to ride. That was it. We had to show force. We had to show the reason why. I mean, just look at. I mean, it's not such a great movie. He won the best director, but Steven Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan. It had its parts were better than its whole. I think. Um, like it was really rough. It was just like too naturalistic. They're showing he depicts some men searching around for their lost arm and stuff like that. It's like, come on, you don't need to show that. You can show the heroism. You can show the might, the force, the thinking, the strategizing that goes into war. I think with the reality of people, it's just saying, Happy Memorial Day. Like, it's not Happy Memorial Day. It's remember this day. Maybe we just should say, I want it. I want it to be happy, but make sure there has to be a caveat. There has to be a warning. Happy Memorial Day, asterisk. Remember the fallen. Remember those that you're saying Happy Memorial Day. The ones that secured your right to say Happy Memorial Day, and to get that pickup truck or that mattress, or you know get 10% off on from Home Depot or something like that, or Lowe's or something like that. Which are incidentally, I lost my thought, but I'm gaining it now. Back in Vietnam, they had to say something. So they had the Sun 90. I was wondering about the chat. I was like, nobody's in here. Hold on, what's going on? I got one of your links, but I didn't get the other one. I got the finals link with Joey Badass, but I didn't get it's not working. You have to send it again. You have to send the one that's not the finals one. Send the other one. I got the finals one. And after the Knicks lose tonight, I'm gonna make sure. I want them to win, but I know they're bums. They're bums. You can't be like, oh, it's all right. We're riding on this, and then they get chopped up and choked after having a double-digit lead. Just choked, just terrible. And then they lost it in the next game after that. Like, oh god. But anyway, so it was in 1991, I think, was the first Gulf War, the Persian Gulf War, Operation Desert Shield, Operation Desert Thunder, or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, so that was a weird war. That was like, all right, we're going to protect Kuwait, but what are we fighting again? Are we fighting for this oil? Saddam's going to still be in power for the next, what was it, 15, 14, what was it, 12 years? Something like that. He was still in power for 12 years, till 2003 when he was found in a spider hole. But that was the ground change. That was when everybody was like, the military. Oh my gosh, the military. They had Whitney Houston singing the president. Not the president, I always say the president. The Star Spangled Banner. And she's singing the Star Spangled Banner, and everybody's like crying. So beautiful, and then the jets are flying over and everything. It's like, this is just great. Yeah, America. Woo, yes, for America. This is America. This is for America. And then of course 2001 September 11th, that just solidified it. That just like said, bang, we got to support the troops. They freaking attacked us. They attacked us. Net. This isn't like Vietnam where everybody was scratching their head like, well, did they attack us? Why are we? Oh, we're fighting against communism. Okay, I'm fighting against communism too, but are we seriously sending our boys at the time it was mainly men and young men? We're sending our men over to fight whom for what and how? What? Like it was just too many questions. And then September 11th comes along, and 2001, I should say, and everybody's like, they attack us. Let's go to Afghanistan. Yeah, 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 Afghanistan. Woo, 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 yeah. A few years later, let's go to Iraq. Iraq. You said, I mean, Afghanistan, right? And not even Afghanistan, Iran, right? Because they're the main ones. They're the ones supplying Afghanistan and supplying all this stuff. Iran, right? No, let's go to Iraq. Let's go to Iraq, dude. Come on. Iraq. Let's go. Now I noticed in the president's speech, President DJT, he said, from the forest of the Ardennes to the to what he said. I'm just paraphrasing, but he said, from the forces of Ardennes to uh the Incheon, the frozen chosen. Anyway, he picked out places from the World War I, World War II, and Korea, and then he talked about Afghanistan and Iraq, and from chosen to Fallujah, and from uh you know the forests of France and the forests of Germany to uh, the, the mountaintops of Afghanistan. Like I'm just paraphrasing. He didn't actually say all that, but he neglected this to mention anything had to do with Vietnam, because we all know he had the bone spurs. But it's not even about the bone spurs. It's about ideology. It's not about I mean, we could make cute little jokes and stuff like that. Aha, he was rich boy. He was a rich kid. He got out of the prison and the Vietnam War because his daddy was rich, and they explained that he had bone spurs. That's the reason why he couldn't do anything. No, that's cute and everything, but it's more like ideology. It's his thinking behind the reason why he didn't go to Vietnam. It's more about mentality, more so than the fact that he had bone spurs. But you can I mean, there's so many jokes about the bone spurs. Everybody uses them. But I mean, if you look at anybody, I mean, because really other people could have had bone spurs as well. It's not about the bone spurs. It's about the thinking. It's about the ideation. That needs to be combated. Yes, you missed the show, and you will be punished for that, Son of the Sun 90. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Young Thug. Yeah, Young Thug. Yeah. But we're not going to go back in the past. We're going to stay on topic. Memorial Day. Memorial Day. 1,000 points of light. But in reality, all this boils down to the fact that nobody wants war. I've explained this to people in my family. I say, somebody said, in my family says, I don't like war, and I'm like, okay, so what happens after September 11th? And they're like, well, that's retaliation. I'm like, well, that's still war. It's war. You're going to war with them, to retaliate. Of course, that's the only proper way to win a war. If you're attacked, you retaliate. You don't say, oh, that's fine. Ayn Rand said this. She said, if we got rid of all the weapons, or try to get rid of all nuclear weapons, and all the way down to hammer and fist and chains and knives, the first inkling that somebody would get that, oh, they don't have weapons, we're taking them over. This is the facts. You gotta have enough strength militarily, and we do. Our ships are out there on the sea. The Navy is the strongest Navy in the world. No matter what they say about China, they got 1 million, soldiers, or 3 million soldiers, or whatever the case may be. America still rules the seas, and of course, the Marine Corps is with them. So, but Air Force has the air, and Navy has the air, and Marines have the air. Skies, there Ayn Rand for dummies like me. Hey, there's no dummies. Once you just pick up a book, You should be able to read it. She's so the clarity of Ayn Rand's thinking and her works is what shines through the most. She's one of the most clear and concise and just amazing writers of all time. Just you'll just fall in love with her. We're not talking about Young Thug, Son to Son 90. But yeah, there is if you want to read a book that's pretty simple, very easy to read, you'll read it in a few hours. It's called Anthem. I've read it 23 times already in my life. Read Anthem, you'll enjoy it. If you want to start out with a book with nonfiction, I would recommend that you go to I recommend you go to The Virtue of Selfishness. Start with the ethics. Then you can think about I mean it's starting in the middle, but you can think about it to what you think it is. But there's metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, politics, and aesthetics. I've read everything regarding except in full epistemology, which is Introduction to Objectivist Epistemology, which is a very profound work, and you have to be very diligent and careful and awake and pay attention to what is said. But you have to do that with all her works. But her most successful books are The Virtues of Selfishness. It'll change your world. It'll change your vision. Allow me to be an atheist because there was no other way. I was like, okay, my grandmother was an atheist. My great grandmother was an atheist. I'm sure her mother was an atheist. Excuse me, a theist. So they were all believers, and my parents are believers, my sisters are believers, my cousins are believers, my brothers, everybody's a believer. How in the world can I do this? But then it's like, oh, read this book, Virtues of Selfishness. Oh, you can have your own mind. You can start your own path. You can make your own way in the world, and that would mean getting rid of any ideology that's false, like faith. Southern Sun 90 says, what does Memorial Day mean to you? Are you a believer on the low? No. That's like saying I'm like alive on the low or dead on the low. Yeah. That means I'm dead on the low. I'm fully alive. Oh, to you. Yes, Memorial Day means to me respect and honor for the fallen. That's what Memorial Day means to me. It doesn't mean mattress sales or car sales or 10 or 15% off at Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff like that. And I don't subscribe to that. I subscribe to remembering and honoring the fallen. That's what this day is all about. It's not like Veterans Day, like I said, is bittersweet. It's a reflection on people that are alive that once were in the military and can recall their days and understand what they mean to them, what their time in the service meant to them. So, and then you can get your free meals. You can get your deals at different merchants, different places. I'm surprised you didn't cover the East versus West new friendly rap beef. I didn't know about it. See, I'm reading books. I haven't been paying attention. I was in church. I took a nap. Then I said, what the hell am I going to talk about today? I want to talk tomorrow. I'm talking about, here's a teaser, Midwest gun violence. Just think, what city am I thinking about? What city is always considered, for Memorial Day, July 4th, and Labor Day? Joey Badass versus the West Coast. Oh, yeah, I think I saw some of that. I think I did see some of that because he was going in on some of that. Was Game a part of that? Was Game going and saying that? Yes. Radio Hawkins, Chirac. Yes, that's right. Texas. No, not Texas. Not Texas. But Memorial Day means more to me than just hot dogs and burgers and just chilling by the pool with a cold ice cold beer. Women wearing beautiful dresses. All that's wonderful. That's great. I love all of that. But that's not what this date should be about. It's about understanding that over 1 million people, their lives were stolen from them. They could have been the next Nobel Prize winner. They could have been the next Pulitzer Prize winner. They could have been the next president of the United States of America. They could have been, so many different honorary and honorable positions. Well, once were honorable. Um, you know, that's the reality that we're contending with. The next Kendrick Lamar, Rottweiler says. Who is the next Kendrick Lamar? You got me guessing. I'm not sure. Could have been. Who could have been, Rottweiler? And you're back with the regular toast, Texas toast or Texas waffle. I guess you can say Texas waffle, not Texas toast. Texas waffle. Shaking my head. The hat's too tight. No, the hat's just right. See, look, it's not too tight. I can stick if you can stick 2 fingers in, it's not too tight. But I just am using this time for y'all to spread this video, let everybody know what the real meaning of Memorial Day is, especially to Americans, United States. I think it was 50 Cent. I don't remember when he said it, but I can kind of remember how he said it and why he said it. He said, if you ask me to color the American flag, it'd be really hard to color it without using the color red. And what he meant by that was the bloodshed that's in the streets is really what's bloodshed that of all time in America. This country was built on bloodshed. Not, it doesn't mean it's because it's full of bloodshed. It's not a cornerstone. It's not the reason why, but it started with bloodshed. And we've been in wars averaging every 20 years, I think. Every 20 years, I think we're in war. That's the facts of it. That's the sad truth, but it's the reality we have to contend with. That's what we have to really look at. I think with Memorial Day being such like a toss away holiday, it's almost like, well, it's official the unofficial start of summer. Kids are going to the beach, and college kids they're celebrating. They just graduated. They're going down to the beach, or they're going overseas, or going to a different country. Ironically, celebrating an American holiday in a different country. That's super ironic, but I guess people do that. But if they do stay home, the hoes are cheating. What do you mean? What are you talking about, Rottweiler? The hoes are cheating. Which hoes where? I don't know. But that's all I want to do. That's all. This is my humble, modest, meek, and mild way of saying, could you just not? Could you kind of not really? But no, I'm serious. I think if we just change our viewpoint of the way we view it, our viewpoint is what has to be channeled, has to be different. Like I said, the pastor at the church I attend, I don't say it's my church, but the church in which at which I attend, he said that, are there any families that know people that have died in war and stuff like that? And I was like, wow, okay. And then say, make sure you get ready for your barbecues and your get-togethers and your out, cookouts in the backyard. He didn't say anything like that. He didn't say anything like that. You're always prepared. How many hours do you take to prepare for each show? Well, honestly, I don't take many hours. I look at a lot of footage. I look at different reports. I look at pages. And I just read and watch video and listen to audio. That's all I do. But I appreciate that, Radio Hawkins. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. And it just comes out. I just regurgitate. I just like toss it out. And a lot of it's just stuff from memory. Like I remember I think 1968 was the worst year for the Vietnam War according to American casualties. I think you can check me on that, but I think 1968 was the worst year. I think it was like 30,000 casualties, something like that. It was a mess. It was just Vietnam is such a black eye to this country. It's just not even. And Ayn Rand lived through it all. She lived it out the entire way, and reported on it, and made sure people understood how to fight for the war, how to fight not against the GIs, not against the people fighting the war. You can't fight them. Don't fight them. Fight the ideas of communism and the viciousness and the evils of communism. That's what you need to fight. And we didn't need to get into this war, she was saying, but as long as we're in this war, we might as well win it. Well, we didn't win it, so it just goes on to like that. And Rottweiler, Jesus is not Lord, and that's funny. That's part of the terminology too. King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Master, like all these different titles that are just outdated, really, and don't make any sense. They don't have any real meaning anymore. What is a king? King Charles? What the hell can he do? King Charles, the King of Sweden. What else? They're just royalty, just to be royalty. They don't have any real ironclad meaning behind what they are. The lords and the kings, and lords of London, whatever that. They may have a little bit more tug than even the king. I think the lords, because they are the ones that I think make. And all the time, God is good. Oh my gosh, here we go. Holly's in the building. Everybody say hi to Holly. She's the lady of the house. Skylar, my son knocked a picture off the wall, and that was my grand exit yesterday. I was having a good time. I was wondering, oh my goodness. I was like, where'd she go? What happened to her? But I appreciate you for coming in today. Thank you very much, Holly. Thank you. Yes, Rottweiler saying hi. Appreciate it. I appreciate the recognition. Do appreciate it tremendously. But yeah, so I think Holly understands. Holly works with veterans. Holly is a very almost a veteran herself. Rottenweiler. She's saying hi back. Like the video and get Sky to do a marathon tonight. Yeah, whoa, I'm not doing a marathon tonight. Maybe tomorrow when I talk about Chirac. Chirac or Chirac or Chirac. I'm gonna talk about the more. I looked at the standings today. I was like, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. It said 2 dead, 18 shot, and it's Sunday. Wait till Monday. See what happens. Memorial Day weekend. It's just the facts. This is reality. What did Tupac say? The late great Tupac. There's war in the streets and there's war in the Middle East. We still have both. There's no peace on either. And another rapper, got a piece on my side because there ain't no peace on my side. Who said that? I look in the live chat. Who said I got a piece on my side because there ain't no peace on my side? But anyway, nope, not Cameron. I'm not going to deny you, Rottweiler, because he may have said something like that. But I'm thinking about no, not Spice One. I'll give you a hint. It was part of the song 6 foot, 7 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot. That should give you a good hint. And it's not the main person, it's a feature. Nope, it's feature. The man that was featured with him. He has a dad that's a rapper too. He's the son of a blank. That's giving it away. His initials are CG. Maybe you guys can get it. Peter, his son. Very good, very close. You're red hot, but you're not white hot. What's his son's name? You're very hot, Rottweiler. Pause. Yes, Corey Guns. He said that. Got a piece on my side because ain't no peace on my side. But yeah, so I mean, it's weird. It's always that tug of, the reason why people are celebrating are because people died. They want those people that died wished that they could be, they could have had kids, and their kids could have kids, and they would be, having barbecues and all these kinds of things. I get that. I understand it. I totally understand all of that. I changed my identity if I was Peter Gunn's kid. Oh my goodness. Holly goes in. But like I was saying with Holly, she has worked with veterans for over. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. She's worked some time with veterans. I'll say that. I hate him. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Corey. Yeah. Okay. Scott, how much can I donate to get you to keep going until 9? You have to give me like. I'm serious. It has to be $250 or more. $250. If you give me $250 right now, I'll go to 9 o'clock Eastern time. You give me $250 right now. My Venmo is at the top. Cash App and PayPal are all available. Oh my goodness, that's so great. Holly's gonna be singing at the VA tomorrow. I be Corey Knives. F Corey Guns. I think Holly and I disagree with that. I think for some reason I think you're anti-guns. Are you anti-guns, Holly? Is that why? I'm not sure. Yeah, but she's gonna be singing tomorrow for the veterans. So that's Holly's job. She literally is locked into that. She's wonderful. Like seriously, I there's a guy named Leroy. We both remember Leroy. But we just talk. We be like, Aaron's not into it. Aaron, she doesn't give enough oomph. She doesn't have enough emphasis on it. But Holly, she does all the work. She makes sure this is done. She has all the ducks in a row. Not trying to, yank your chain, Holly. I'm just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. He's a sleaze. Oh, because you watched. I know why. Because you watched those love and hip hop shows. Oh, Leroy came to the cookout last year. I'm so glad last year I know, but anything could have happened. But I'm glad that he was able to come to the cookout. That's great. That's great. He was a great guy. He was just really cool. Just I just wanted to be like him when I was in the nut house, in the puzzle factory, in the psych ward. That's reality. I mean, that's where I'm coming from. But yeah. So I don't see $250 coming into my account anytime soon. So it looks like I'll be wrapping up in the next few moments. But I just wanted to make it clear. Holly knows. She knows what it's like. She's been in. I mean, I'm sure she's seen things, from veterans. Some ugly things they say, ugly things they do. There was a dude that was trying to test me. He was testing me. He was like, one time I was just sitting, minding my own business, and then he comes across and nudges me, and I get up because I have self-esteem. I go over to him and say, "You can do this. We can do this any way you want." I just said, "Anything you can sell us any way you want. I can tell somebody or not." See, I'm a snitch. I snitched to Holly, and we got him out of there. We got him out of the program. I took notes on what happened, and she sat me down at her computer, and she remembers all this. She remembers all this. That's why she has the smiley faces and the laughing faces. Cause this guy was trying to test me, and we got him out of there. She got him out of the program. Like I'm not scared of you. I'm not gonna just, oh well, maybe he's just gonna leave me alone or something. No, Holly got me. I told Holly up straight up. She was like, oh really? Okay. She put it on her report. Got him out of there. Wherever the hell he is, I don't even care. But Damn, some kids didn't get Christmas gifts this year. I don't know what you're talking about, Rottweiler. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean, but hey, it's been an interesting journey. I hope you get the main gist of this story. Well, he didn't get. He was part of a program. We weren't employees. He was a part of a what was it? It was kind of like I'm trying to think of the proper name for it without giving too much away because I don't know proper name to say. But he wasn't fired. He was part of a program that I was in. He was removed from it. You on X? No, I'm not on X. I'm charged, but I'm not on X. But I appreciate it. But like I was saying, I hope you guys get the gist of this story about Memorial Day. Honor the fallen. Honor the fallen. Have your barbecues, have your cookouts, have your truck sales and your mattress sales. That's fine. But remember why there are truck sales in those sales. I'm driving. Someone donate to keep Sky going until 9. Nope. Well, I gotta go. So it's been real. Thank you very much, and I will see you definitely tomorrow on Memorial Day. Thank you very much. Take care.